Good morning everyone, and welcome to this morning's transfer video. Big news off the press here on New Year's Eve as we go into 2021, and guess who is rumored out of Arsenal? Dani Ceballos. Dani Ceballos has been linked to AC Milan. It is said virtually a few hours ago that Real Madrid are seriously considering ending Dani Ceballos' loan with Arsenal so that they can sell him to either Inter Milan or AC Milan. AC Milan is the one that's strongly linked at the moment with Dani Ceballos, and it looks like even if the deal doesn't get done as soon as possible, it definitely looks like there is some interest there. Now, let's really talk about Dani Ceballos as a whole. Ceballos, I felt that at the end of last season had a really good tail end of the season. Even though he didn't kind of produce the numbers that we wanted to in terms of goals and assists, you saw enough there to determine, you know what, let's bring the guy back for a full season. Let's see what he could do under Arsenal, getting regular game time. And unfortunately, from what we've seen so far, things have been a bit, I would say, okay at best for Dani Ceballos' time at Arsenal this season. Personally, I've already decided that even though I think that Ceballos is a decent player, he's not worth the money that Real Madrid are going to ask for him. And therefore, for me, I'm going to have to say that if Dani Ceballos' loan is ended at Arsenal, I personally would have no problem selling Dani Ceballos. For me, he doesn't score enough goals, he doesn't create enough chances, and even though he does put in a shift in defensively, even though that he is way better than Xhaka for me, in my opinion, he doesn't give you enough on the creative and the attacking side to warrant him staying at Arsenal. So for me, when I saw this rumor on Real Madrid looking at Dani Ceballos, I said, you know what? If they are actually considering selling Dani Ceballos, then so be it. Because you know what? This means that another player that we have, maybe Joe Willock, could start getting regular game time within that midfield, or even Ainsley Maitland-Niles, who for me, I have been crying out for Ainsley Maitland-Niles to get in this starting 11, particularly within the midfield, because I think he's a competent right back and left back, but I think he's an absolute boss in that midfield role, and I've seen him time and time again play the midfield role under Arsene Wenger, under Emery, and even under Arteta, and I can honestly say that that central midfield role is his. He has everything what we're looking for, especially when you're looking at other rumours. For instance, Basuma, who's at Brighton, strong, quick, can move forward with the ball and try to create chances. Ainsley Maitland-Niles could do that, and he's defensively solid with his experience at left back and right back, and he could still play in those positions if need be. But I digress. But Arsenal have options, so even if we lose Dani Ceballos, we're not completely feeling like there is nothing else there. We still have options there as well. So I had to talk about Dani Ceballos overall. But leave your comments below on what do you think about Dani Ceballos' time at Arsenal so far. Should we be looking to maybe keep Dani Ceballos? I'm sure you guys are going to leave your comments before that. And finally, we got to talk about Willian. Well, Willian and another player who we've been linked with. So Willian on social media has recently removed Arsenal from his description on his Instagram page. Now, I normally don't like to talk about these things because I felt like it's just a bit of speculation, a bit of conjecture. But when you start looking at the timing of this, tomorrow is January 1st. If he has decided that he's had enough at Arsenal and now has done this, and again, I know I am just putting things out there in the ether, that maybe his time is done at Arsenal. I mean, Willian has not he's not managed to pull up any trees. I think so far throughout the whole of his Arsenal career so far, he's had 2 assists, which came on the first game of the season against Fulham. And so far, he's done absolutely nothing. And I mean, Arteta has given this guy chance after chance after chance. And he hasn't performed. He's backed him to the moon. Even when I said to drop him, Arteta continually chose that. And I think that because we haven't seen him, it just says everything possibly can say. And now, with Arsenal so close to Buendia, Emi Buendia at Norwich is very close to joining Arsenal. And it does not surprise me that if Arsenal in the works, Arteta and co, have been working on bringing Buendia in and getting rid of Willian, and potentially something that no one else is really talking about, also Pepe. Now maybe Pepe might be a harder one in order to get rid of because of the price tag, the money that he's on. My understanding is that he is on a fair chunk of money, Pepe. So you're going to have to find a buyer that's going to want to buy him for that. But if you're bringing in someone like a Buendia primarily plays on the right side. All of his goals, all of his assists this season, and last season as well. I think he's got about 6 goals, 7 assists this season in the Championship. And last season he scored 1 goal and got 7 assists, and all of which were from that right side. I've even taken a look at heat maps, and he primarily is a right winger. Sometimes can play in more as a right midfielder, but primarily he is a right winger. And Buendia, if the club have identified him as a player that can bring something for Arsenal, then I say why not? I think at Norwich he was brilliant last season. A lot of people like myself felt that other clubs should have gone in for him. I know there were talks on Spurs being interested in him as well. So there's lots of things going on with Arsenal right now. I think there's going to be lots of surprises with lots of changes in this January, but I think a lot of it is really predicated upon players leaving the club before Arsenal could really bring players in. And I think until that happens, we're not going to really see much signings with Arsenal right now. So you got Dani Ceballos there potentially leaving, going back towards our Real Madrid. Obviously you got the likes of Buendia coming in, and potentially Willian leaving, potentially Pepe leaving. I've heard talks on Kolasinac and Mustafi. So lots of different transfer rumours coming in and out. But over the next month, starting from tomorrow, I will be keeping you guys abreast of all transfer rumours. At least one video. I'm thinking of a day like what I did last January on how on which players Arsenal are linked with in the January transfer window. But until then, please do remember to continue liking the videos, continue subscribing to the channel. It does help the channel out. And yeah, leave your comments below on everything I've talked about. Do you think is going to Ceballos leaving Arsenal to go to potentially AC Milan is a good thing? What do you think of Willian potentially leaving and a Buendia coming in? Leave your thoughts below. Please do remember to comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see you all next time. Peace.